pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Let the record show that all members of the City Council are present this evening, with the exception of Councilman Kerr and Councilman Fairbanks. A copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted in the meeting room and is accessible to members of the public at any time during the course of this meeting. First item on the agenda is the consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. First item is item A, approve agenda as submitted. Item B, receive and place on file all notices pertaining to this meeting. Item C, receive and place on file all materials having any bearing on this meeting. Item D, approval of minutes of regular meeting on January 18th, 2021 as on file in the City Clerk's office. Item E, approval of Treasurer's report of claims in the amount of $98,743.78. Item F, approval of Boswell report of claims in the amount of $61,420.28. Item G, approval of write-off of ambulance bad debts. Item H, resolution number 6670, executing contract number 20-UGPR-71 between the City of Beatrice, State of Nebraska, and the Western Area Power Administration as recommended by the Board of Public Works. Item I, resolution number 6671, executing any necessary documents to retain Beatrice Community Hospital and Health Center to provide voluntary wellness screening for the city's full-time employees and their spouses. And item J, resolution number 6672, appointing council member Tim Fralin to the Beatrice Plus Advisory Board. Any item that any member wants removed from the consent agenda? Anyone from the public? Mr. Claybaugh?
I move that the items listed under the consent agenda be approved, accepted, and are ratified as presented.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Morgan, that all items listed under the consent agenda be approved. Your vote, please. And that is approved 6-0. We have no public hearings this evening. First item is a resolution number 6673, entering into a interlocal cooperation act agreement with the Village of Philly, whereby the city shall provide garbage collection services for the Village of Philly.
I move that resolution number 6673 be passed and adopted.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Fralin, that resolution number 6673 be passed and adopted. Tobias?
As we previously discussed with the City of Beatrice making the purchase of sanitary garbage, there are a number of areas where sanitary garbage serves today. We're working with those different villages to secure contracts or have them transferred to the City of Beatrice. The first one, if you will, that is signed would be the Village of Philly. It's a 5-year contract. Other than that, any questions you have today, again, they're served by sanitary garbage today. We would just look to continue that service moving forward.
Fees going forward going to be the same?
I think they're the same as they're currently charged by sanitary garbage, yes.
Are those fees locked for 5 years in?
The contract states that they'll be locked for the first year. After that, any increase has to go back before their village board for approval. Their village board cannot withhold consent or approval of a price increase that's deemed reasonable. So obviously, several dollars probably would not be, but if you're talking smaller amounts, it should be approved.
Any other questions? Public? All right, your vote, please. And that is approved 6-0. Resolution number 6673 has been passed and adopted. Next is resolution number 6674, executing the agreement for services between the city and Terragon Consultants Incorporated, wherein Terracon agrees to perform geotechnical engineering services for the construction of a communications tower at the new fire station site.
I move that resolution number 6674 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Billsbach, that resolution number 6674 be passed and adopted. Tobias?
As everyone's aware, we're in the middle of constructing a new fire station. As part of that construction process, there will be a communication tower that's erected at the fire station. The tower company, Zephyr Towers, a local business here who will be erecting that fire or that communications tower, has asked that we have a geotechnical survey done of where the tower itself will be located. And so that's why we retain the services of Terracon to come down and drill essentially one hole and tell us the soil sampling of what's there and what type of soils they can predict once they hit in and what type of base they need to then have when they erect the tower.
Remind me again, how tall is the tower?
It's minimum of 100 feet, I believe.
And no issues with the airport?
No.
Any other questions, gentlemen, from the public? And your vote, please. And that is approved 6-0. Resolution number 6674 has been passed and adopted. Next is a resolution number 6675, executing the agreement and scope of work and any and all documents necessary to retain Geographic Information Services Incorporated for the development of routes for garbage collection services.
I move that resolution number 6675 be passed and adopted.
Second.
By Claybaugh, seconded by McLean, that resolution number 6675 be passed and adopted.
As we continue to work towards that February 5th date, where the city of Beatrice takes over trash services here, the next step,
April 5th.
April 5th, thank you.
You said February 5th.
That'd be a little
That's pretty quick.
a little faster than we need to.
Never tracked you.
Heart attack.
April 5th, thank you, Mayor. The next kind of step in that process is acquiring some routing software. We're able to use software we have on staff already today, which is Esri. That's a software that we use. We run through all of our GIS information through there. What we're retaining are the services of GIS Inc. They'll help us input the addresses that we have for all the various customers and then help us set up the criteria that we want so we know how to run our routes and make them as efficiently as possible. Certain things you can put in the routing survey. You can tell it that you want to make only right-hand turns, or that you anticipate that each house will have X number of pounds of trash, and here's the maximum amount that my truck can hold. So it knows how many routes or how many houses it can pick up in a certain household or on a certain route. Those are the types of things you'll be able to put in there to help us develop those routes. Once they're set up, they'll be fairly stable. I mean, not a lot of things will change. We don't have a lot of movement one way or the other, but this is the initial get it set up.
Questions? Sounds like an efficient way to do it. Anyone from the public? All right, gentlemen, your vote, please. And that is approved 6-0. Resolution 6675 has been passed and adopted. Next is an ordinance to add section 16-298 to Division 2 of Article 11 of Chapter 16 of the Beatrice City Code regarding electric vehicle parking spaces.
I move that said ordinance be given number 21-4, the title thereof be approved, the rules be suspended, and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Billsbach, that the ordinance be given number 21-4, the title thereof approved, the rules suspended, and the ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. A motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. Your vote, please. That is approved 6-0. Ordinance number 21-4 by number the first time, ordinance number 21-4 by number the second time, and ordinance number 21-4 by number the third and final time.
I move that ordinance number 21-4 be passed and approved.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Billsbach, that ordinance number 21-4 be passed and approved.
So
Yes.
today we have ordinances on the books that prevent you from parking in handicap stalls or loading docks and loading zones, things like that. With the city now acquiring an electric vehicle and getting an electric charging station installed, we did not have anything that prevent somebody from parking a non-electric vehicle into an electric vehicle stall or where you would have the charger set up. And so the ordinance you have before you basically just states that if the city council designates a parking stall as an electric vehicle parking stall, you cannot park a non-electric vehicle into that parking stall. Again, what we're looking at, and if you will, the next resolution coming up would be, again, designating a couple of parking spots next to the electric charging station that was being installed by the Carnegie Building.
Questions, gentlemen? From the public? All right. Oops, I'm sorry.
Saw a hand come up.
Come on up.
Ashley Mason, 1300 Lincoln Street. What will the city allow citizens to park in those electric spaces as well? And will they be able to use that charging station as well, or will there be a fee?
Answer is yes to both of those.
Okay.
So they'll be open, available for anybody else to use them. Yes, they'll be able to charge there. And no, we are not anticipating having any charges, a fee to start with.
Okay.
We'll see how the service goes, and we'll see how much it's used before we make any determination on whether or not a fee will be charged.
Thank you, guys.
Any other questions? All right, gentlemen, your vote, please. And that is approved 6-0. Ordinance number 21-4 has been passed and adopted. Next is resolution number 6676, establishing 2 parking spaces designated for parking electric vehicles in the northwest corner of the parking lot near the Carnegie Building, 218 North 5th Street, Beatrice, Nebraska.
I move that resolution number 6676 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Fralin, that resolution number 6676 be passed and adopted.
So again, you see a map up there for you showing where those 2 parking stalls will be located at. Carnegie Building would be just north of the alley there on lots where it would be 5 and 6. The electric department has started to install the electric charger there. The reason for 2 parking stalls is the charger has 2 charging stations on it. So that's why there's 2 parking stalls there. Yes.
Probably totally unrelated, but with those 2 stalls, how many electric charging spots are there around our geographic location? And if there's not a lot, does that become at least a marketing tool for the city of Beatrice?
So there's not a lot around here. I know there's some in Auburn. I know there's some in Seward and Lincoln and some of those areas, but that's part of the process is building out that network. But no, I don't know of any others that are around this general area. So yes, it'll be something that you'll work on advertising, letting people know that if you do have an electric vehicle, you don't have to be afraid about coming down Highway 77 because we do have a charging station. We'll be able to help you out and take care of you and get you, a place to stop that you can, fuel up and move on to the next one. So,
Right. And maybe fill yourself up.
yes.
Any other questions?
How long does it take to charge a car?
So it depends on what level of charger you have. If you're at your house and you use just a normal extension cord, you're looking at about 24 hours. If you have a level 2 charger, it's about an hour and a half. If you have a level 3 charger, which is called a fast charger, then you're down to about 20 minutes. This will be a level 2 charger, so about an hour and a half. The reason we locate in the downtown area is, again, so if somebody's charged, got their car plugged in and it's charging, they have an opportunity to go to community players or go down and have a bite to eat or go to a movie theater or something else. There are some activities they can do in the downtown area while waiting for their car to charge.
Do we have plans for another location?
At this point, we do not. We'll get this one in. We'll see how it goes over. The nice part is we'll be able to pull quite a bit of data off of this charging station to know, again, it'll tell us how long cars are plugged in, how long cars are actually charging for, what cars are coming in. So if we see the same car coming in over and over again, we know it's a local. If you see it's a one-time, they're in and out, we know it's somebody who's coming through the area. So we'll get a lot of that data, and then we'll kind of know what else to look for and see if it's something else we want to put another one in, and if so, where at.
But you're right, Bob. I think the Chamber of Commerce ought to use that as a marketing tool. Any other questions from the public? All right, gentlemen, your vote, please. And that is approved 6-0. Resolution number 6676 has been passed and approved. Next is the public forum. Purpose of the public forum is for the presentation of an item by the general public to the City Council for consideration at a later date. No discussion or action will be taken by the City Council at this time. Is there anyone here for the public forum? All right, gentlemen, our next regular scheduled meeting is going to be in 2 weeks, February 15th in these chambers. And we will have a work session on February 22nd, and that work session will be not in these chambers, but at the new educational facility at Southeast Community College. Bob has graciously offered that facility for a dual purpose, to have a work session and also to tour the facility. Okay? And if you can make it, that'd be great. Mr. Claybaugh?
I move that the meeting be adjourned at 7:14 PM.
Second.
Moved by Claybaugh, seconded by Billsbuck, that the meeting be adjourned at 7:14 PM. Your vote, please. That is approved, 6-0. Thank you, everyone, for coming.